always had an issue with submitting to men. I also had an issue because I didn't know who to submit to. And because of that, I lacked experience in submitting and knowing who I should submit to and why I should submit to. And I did end up submitting to the wrong person. And in submitting to the wrong person, I learned a lot about what I like, what I value, what's important to me, what a man should bring to the table. If I do not submit, I would never have the experience into knowing what to submit to and what not to submit to. So that's the reason why I can agree with him on that. And then in the moment of submitting wrong, the only way I was able to grow and change the type of men I was dating and change how I dealt with men and change how my approach and my view was and became more loving. And I feel like that would make me cry, but that's why I feel like I'm in the environment I'm in now.
You got it.
It's all
Okay.
good.
Because I was able to take full responsibility for the things that were happening to me.
My thing was, yes, you're going to, after you heal, because like Darwin was stating, for girls who've gone through the same situation, first of all, you have to heal. You have to speak with your father. You have to get over that hump of healing and feeling that way. And then you do go into those situations based off of faith until someone shows you differently. But like I was stating before, you tend to run into people, or sometimes you're going to run into frogs. You thought it was a prince, you thought it could work out, and it doesn't happen for you. But if you don't have that father figure to say, yes, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, he's good, he's not, it's going to be a learning curve. You're
You got
going to have that issue of trying to figure out. And that's when faith fully, meaning getting closer to God, comes into hand. Because I didn't meet the person that I feel like works for me that I'm with now until I got closer to God, until I understood God, until I got in my Bible. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's so much more than that. I didn't bring up my situation to say I'm this hurting black girl and I don't trust black men. No, I'm saying that that is the story of a lot of people in our community. They do not have that. And they have to go through these steps first before we can get to a point of feeling comfortable submitting to anything.
And to piggyback
All
off
right.
of
Can
what
I
Ruth
ask something?
said,
Because I have my
as
hand
a
raised and
woman that's
everything. I don't
like,
have my hand raised.
hold
Like,
on, hold on, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let's get some water. Let's get some water. All right.
like, so my question is this in response to what Todd just said, right? Because he said something about I don't want to submit because I don't feel safe. Now I want to give y'all a scenario. You wake up in your bed, your house is on fire. There's firefighters at your window. You do not know them from a hole in the wall, but the firefighter says to you, "Come with me." You say, "I don't want to submit to you because I don't feel safe." Well, obviously you don't feel safe because you're not under the protection of the person who's there to protect you, which is the firefighter. So obviously you don't feel
That's the
safe.
weirdest
It's like
example.
so
I keep
as a
hearing. Hold on,
woman,
stop. Please stop interrupting me. I hear a bunch of women talk about how they don't feel protected, but then they refuse to get under the protection. They refuse to submit and then wonder why they don't feel protected. It's because you're not submitting. That's why you don't feel safe. It's because you don't have a covering. You don't have someone looking ahead. You don't have the foresight in your life. And that's why you don't feel safe. But you guys are using the not feeling safe as a reason to not submit. When really that's exactly why you should be submitting, because you don't feel safe. You obviously
You
don't.
can't expect me
This
to
is
take
something
so
this is something that you guys have kept reverberating, that women don't feel safe, women not feeling confident. So that's probably why you should submit to somebody who does feel safe and who
Can we
does
talk?
feel confident.
We need
so
to talk
as
about
I
the
was
elephant in
saying
the
That's
before,
literally our
There's
problem.
an elephant in the
Y'all
as
are looking at
so
a bunch of firefighters
you have
saying, "I won't follow you out of this house because I feel
so
uncomfortable in this fire."
so from
That's
a
literally your
woman's
argument, and it makes no sense.
So, from a woman who is currently going through that, who is currently going through the motions of learning to feel safe, as a woman who cannot make up with her dad, as a woman who does not have that option, because a lot of us women don't have that option to go back to that man. And I need, and women, just hear me out before y'all shake y'all heads at me. But I do have to agree with Clout on this, and I'm going to explain why. The reason why I agree with him is because I always had an issue with submitting to men. I also had an issue because I didn't know who to submit to. And because of that, I lacked experience in submitting and knowing who I should submit to and why I should submit to. And I did end up submitting to the wrong person. And in submitting to the wrong person, I learned a lot about what I like, what I value, what's important to me, what a man should bring to the table. If I do not submit, I would never have the experience into knowing what to submit to and what not to submit to. So that's the reason why I can agree with him on that. And then in the moment of submitting wrong, the only way I was able to grow and change the type of men I was dating and change how I dealt with men and change how my approach and my view was and became more loving. And I feel like that finna make me cry, but that's why I feel like I'm in the environment I'm in now
You got it.
It's all
Okay.
good.
because I was able to take full responsibility for the things that were happening to me because God knew if I couldn't take responsibility, I would come on this podcast triggered. I would come on here angry. I would come on here not being able to access my femininity, you know? Like for you guys, for me on the outside world, I'm always yelling when I'm having these type of arguments. But because I've went through what I went through, when I talk to you men, I'm able to be like, no, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let him speak. Because I trust and value your opinions because the way you view your life, your values, and things of that nature. And sometimes it's hard for us to be vulnerable like this and say, I've been through that because then it makes me look less of a woman. It makes it seem like there's something wrong with me because I picked the wrong guy. And it's like if we would stop downing each other for the steps that we have to take to go against the conditioning that the world has put on us, then we can actually grow and learn to be something different. Because I wasn't this person. I wasn't this person who could just be quiet and listen and hear you say things that relate to my situation and not take it personal. When I first came on here, Hank was the main person that triggered me. And then I said, why is his frustration with women offending me? And my dad's so egotistic that when he gives his opinion on a woman that hurt him, when he gives his opinion, he can't feel how he feel about her. She can't be a wench. Well, if she treat him like that, she probably is a wench, and they ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to really check that. So that's all I had to say about that.
Hank done drug me in the mud. Don't even pay him no mind.
So, so I appreciate you being transparent with your feelings and emotions. It's important that we be passionate about the things that are important to us, so we can learn how to appreciate each other when we talk, when we allow each other to speak. And I'm glad you were able to overcome some of the struggles you just showcased that you had and you was dealing with when it came to submission. And relationships are hard, man. It's life altering, and a lot of these decisions and choices we make stick with us all our lives, and oftentimes it impact our children's lives. So we really got to look at these conversations as very, very critical and very, very important. And anytime we get an opportunity to be able to expose the issue and try to figure out a solution, we should take that opportunity. So everybody who came up with an alternative, I don't know if I really heard one that was really effective. I heard Roof's, but I was looking forward to more like, okay, so your father is a deadbeat or your father is not exemplifying the relationship that you're inspired by that shows actual submission. So what do you do? What does your mom do? Is your mom got a new man? I mean, I mean, if she get a stepfather and she remarry, obviously you can go to him and submit to his tradition and his principle and pick that up. Or if you actually believe in God, I mean, I would argue that the scriptures can guide you in a way to where God can act as your father in place of your biological, and you can kind of submit to that. And any man that you run into is not showcasing the attributes that God shows through the Bible, and then you don't submit to that. If you want to, you know, replace not having a biological father, or you can find someone you inspired by. You know, a relationship, a OG, they got 30. I mean, I know, I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel know couples that have been married 20, 30 years that can sit down and talk with you. And you can talk to the husband and be like, okay, what are some of the things that I need to vet for? And when you find a man that you find favor in and he find favor in you, you can ask to speak with that man that you inspired by, to be able to see if he approves of the man that you brought in. There's alternative ways around not having a father in the home. It's crucial to have a father in the home, but there is a way around it in order for a woman to be able to find a man that's husband material, that shows leadership qualities, something that you could submit to. So I'm interested in hear if anybody experienced any of those ways or whatever way you figured out.